The wait is finally over. The Commanders' 2022 regular season opener is finally here. We preview Washington's matchup with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And freshly off being named team captain for the first time, linebacker Cole Holcomb joins our captain, London Fletcher, for an exclusive interview. And we take a break from football for a quick bite to eat with Captain Jonathan Allen and former return specialist Brian Mitchell. Plus, everyone wants to see Washington pick up the Week 1 victory. We share our keys to earning a W against the Jags. Command Center starts now. Donaldson here with you with Logan Paulsen and Santana Moss. Finally, we have a game to get set for. Santana, how did you know you were ready for Week 1?
I was full of rituals. I had to have a certain sock on at the same, first I put my left sock on before my right sock. I had to listen to the certain kind of, tune in my ear.
What was it?
Outkast,
Okay.
ATLians. I've been listening to that since 1995 all the way into my last year playing football. I'm just that guy. But once I did all that, I was ready to go.
Same for you?
No, for me, it was in the week, right? If I studied enough and I kind of got the reps I needed to get, and I needed to get a certain number of physical contacts in the week to feel like I was ready to go, and that's how I knew.
I honestly never feel ready. I just feel like I don't know. I really hope that I am, that I've prepared well, but we'll see when we get to the game. Well, Washington kicks off their 2022 regular season at home against the Jacksonville Jags this Sunday at 1 p.m. The Jags are just 4-29 over the last 2 seasons and kick off the year with their third head coach in as many seasons. Despite all the offseason movement, Washington is focused on what they can control.
I'm excited, to be honest with you, just because, we're getting a lot of our pieces back. And we got a full complement of tight ends. We feel good about who all of our guards are. So it's I'm excited. I'm fired up for who we can be.
It'll be interesting to see what they do. Obviously, it's different D coordinator. It's some different pieces over there, but I know he'll have his guys ready. I always felt ready when I played for him, so I know his offense will be ready to do some good things. I'm confident in our defense at the same time, but it'll be fun to, like I said, it'll be fun to compete against them.
Well, we know a lot has changed in the offseason, but here's a deeper dive into the numbers from the Commanders and Jags last season. The passing yards almost identical, right around 202 yards per game, Washington with the edge on the ground attack. Defensively, both teams finished with similar numbers, with the Jags edging out Washington, allowing 6 fewer yards per contest. Time now to go inside the matchup presented by FanDuel. This fantasy football season, get more ways to win with FanDuel. So let's get a little bit deeper into some of this, and I want to start with Washington's defensive line because there's been a lot of focus on that unit, especially with Chase Young missing at least 4 games. Going up against trying to get to one Trevor Lawrence, who has the ability to really throw the deep ball on you and use his legs a lot. How do you see this matchup, and is there a key one-on-one you'd be looking for?
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I think this is maybe the thing that defines the game most from a defensive perspective. I think when you look at Trevor Lawrence, his ability to beat you with his legs, and look at what Patrick Mahomes did to this defense in the preseason, you got to say, we have to find a way to contain this young man and make him beat us from the pocket. He's fully capable of doing that, but let's not let him get any cheap first downs. So to me, the matchup is Montez Sweat versus Cam Robinson. Cam Robinson always seems to struggle. Tremendous athlete, struggles a little bit. Let's let Montez eat off that matchup a little bit.
Yeah, one of the things you talked about is keeping him uncomfortable. He's only a second-year guy, and we know he has a roll of an arm, but we have to make sure that we not let him have any familiarity when it comes to some of the things he did in the past when having great performances in college. We want to keep him young. He's still a rookie until you play 4 more games this year. And I just think our D-line have a great shot. They have a reworked offensive line. They have a rookie at center. We have a guy we're very familiar with in Brendan Sheriff. So we have to get after these guys. Let them guys know up front it's going to be one in the trenches.
And he has the ability to throw some interceptions. Last season, he threw 17 of them compared to 12 touchdowns. So we'll see if we can kind of keep him guessing a little bit. Because if he can get in his groove, man, he will one day be a legit QB for sure. Let's go to the coaching staff. You've got Scott Turner with a lot of different weapons he can use on offense, but he's going to go up against a Mike Caldwell defense. Logan, how do you see this matchup playing out?
So I think the interesting thing about Caldwell is he comes from Tampa Bay, and Bowles is a guy who loves to bring pressure in specific situations, third down, red zone, fringe red zone. Anytime he feels like he needs to play, they're going to bring it. They play a really heavy front up front. So what can Scott do to kind of mitigate some of those pressure situations? What's your protection package? And then how do you manage that big personnel on first down? Let's not run the ball into that brick wall. Let's get creative there and make some plays.
Well, you talk. When I don't mean to cut you off, you talk about Mike Caldwell. Where he come from, his pedigree. He's told and he's learned throughout his career is to be aggressive.
Yep.
Make sure that guy in the backfield that I just talked about, that quarterback, make sure that you affect him. And so that's one of the things that we got to make sure that we do well is, hey, give him something, mix it up a little bit, and give him something that he's not expecting.
And Doug Peterson is going to know Carson Wentz's skill set pretty well, as he was there with him for, I think, 5 years in Philadelphia, drafting him second overall. If we go to the receivers, we've got Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson. Excited to see them with Wentz and his arm. But they're going up against their corners, Tyson Campbell and Shaq Griffin. Santana.
Well, Tyson is one of those kids that he was a rookie last year, and he's a lot of rumors are coming out of preseason that he's had a sharp preseason. He's a freak of nature. He's a guy that the coach talked highly of, saying he can play outside, he can play left, right, and in the slot. So we're gonna have our hands full, but I think that we have the guys that's right for him. The other guy, Griffin, I believe that I know a little bit of him just watching him. I think I was still playing when he was probably coming into the league, but he's a guy that he can be beaten. He's very athletic. He has a twin brother that we heard a lot about. But this guy, we can go at him. And I'm not sure if they're going to leave him out there one-on-one. If they do, I should see that ball going up and down the field at him. And
it sounds like from what you were saying, Logan, their defensive front might be able to get at you. So let's test the secondary.
Yeah,
let's see
right.
what they have until you know what you're playing with. Right. Well, on the defensive side of the ball, linebacker Cole Holcomb is preparing for his 4th season with Washington, but his first as a team captain. Last year, he led the team with the career best 142 combined tackles and recorded his first career touchdown in a pick 6 against the Cowboys. For more on what to expect from Holcomb in year 4, here he is with former Washington linebacker London Fletcher.
Here with Cole Holcomb. Congrats, first of all, on being named team captain. What does that recognition mean to you?
It means I got the approval of my teammates. We vote on it. It feels good to finally get that. Super excited to just get it going.
This is your 4th season. I know every year you kind of set goals for yourself. What are you hoping to accomplish this year personally, and also for your defensive unit as a whole?
I think as a defense we got to get back to that top 5 mentality. I think we have the capability of doing it, and that's nothing less than that is what we'll accept. So. That's the goal.
This is day 1 of kind of, getting out there on the practice field, getting ready to prepare against the Jacksonville Jaguars in week 1. They're led by the former number 1 overall pick, Trevor Lawrence. What kind of problems does their offense pose for you guys on defense?
Yeah, Trevor's great athlete. He's got good arm strength. He's very mobile in the pocket. He's a good athlete. So I think we got to do a good job at keeping him in the pocket and, playing good tight coverage.
How much of a challenge is it going to be going against a Jaguars team? They have a new head coach in Doug Peterson. He spent time with the Eagles as their head coach, but you've only seen this offense with 3 preseason games, and I'm sure they held a lot of the things they're going to do in week 1 kind of close to the vest. From a preparation standpoint, does that make it a lot more difficult for you guys, or you guys just leaning on your experience of facing Doug Peterson's offense when he was with the Eagles?
I think there's many things we've been looking at. When you get a new coach and he's been out a little while, you got to go back. You got to look at things like Philly. You go back and look where all these coaches were. Press Taylor, all those guys. So we're going back and not leaving a stone unturned.
Last question: how does it feel for you being 26 years old and the veteran really of the room? I know they just brought back John Bostic, but you've been a guy kind of in that room. You're kind of looked at as the leader of that linebacker room. How does that feel for you?
Just taking it day by day, honestly. I still feel like a young guy, but I try to be there for the newer guys, the younger guys. Anytime they got questions, anytime they want to watch film, they know where to find me. I'm gonna be in that linebacker room, watching some film, studying something. So if they ever want to get some extra work in, they know where to find me.
All right, thanks, Cole, for joining us. I can't wait to watch you play on Sunday.
Yes, sir. That's going to be a fun one. I'm excited.
Coming up, we send Logan into the film room with Coach Rivera as he prepares the team for the Jacksonville Jaguars. A preview of our coach commands is next.
here, obviously, the read player
Yep.
is this number 41 here, right?
Yes.
And the reason as an offensive player I like this is because you get plus hats to the front side of the run. Because really 41 is not in the count.
Correct.
And he's basically made impotent by the fact that he's got to defend the pass and play the run. How would you coach this player here to make this go?
The biggest thing what you want to do is you want him to do just like he's doing right now. He's reading through the process right now. Okay, he sees the mesh, he's popping his feet, and he's reading and he's looking. Okay, the thing that's to the benefit of Pittsburgh's defense is if you count it, it's an 8-man box.
Right. Versus a
Correct.
6-man front or whatever.
Correct.
Right.
So because if you count it and it's an 8-man box, they've got enough hats to slow this play
Interesting,
down.
yeah.
And as the play progresses, you see what happens. Again, as you said, they're reading off of 41, the weak side linebacker. Okay, he goes through his progression, he reads it the way he's supposed to, and then he reacts to the ball. Okay, but what happens is because of the way it's played at the point of attack,
Yeah.
okay, it's difficult for them, as far as Jacksonville to have success on this. And
Yeah.
you see this illustrated right here. Again, what's going to happen is 48 may get a little bit upfield and really should have set it down a little sooner.
Yeah, because
okay?
you want a hard edge there, right?
Correct.
Okay.
But what I like really is the way 24
Yeah.
goes into their guard.
For more exciting film breakdowns and exclusive access with Coach Rivera leading up to this week's season opener, make sure to watch Command Center, Coach Commands with Ron Rivera Saturdays 7 p.m. on NBC4. You can also stream it on the Washington Commanders YouTube channel and commanders.com. When you pair one of our legends with one of our current players, the stories are bound to be entertaining. But what you might be surprised at is that despite the age difference, there's a lot of similarities between both players. Well, we found out when we paired up Jonathan Allen with former return kickman Brian Mitchell. Check out this episode of Commander Code.
All right, we're doing this or that, all right? You can do with this, and you can do with that. All right, win over Auburn or win over Tennessee?
Oh, win over Auburn, easy.
All right.
Easy. Easy.
Buffalo sauce or barbecue sauce?
Barbecue sauce.
You like being in the sky, skydiving, or scuba diving?
So I haven't been scuba diving, but I've been snuba diving. I love it. But my dream has always been to go skydiving.
I have no reason to want to jump out of a perfectly good plane.
295.
It'll hold you up.
That's a lot of weight.
They say that the parachute will hold you up.
They say that.
Yeah.
They say that. Scuba diving for sure.
Scuba diving.
Scuba diving
All right.
for sure.
A pet monkey or a pet llama?
A monkey. A llama spit.
They spit, yeah.
You know, monkeys are quick.
But you know, monkeys throw other stuff at you.
That's fine though. They're more human-like though. I feel like.
They throw stuff at you.
That's fine. I can deal with that.
LeBron or Jordan?
LeBron.
Not even close. Telling you. Music or podcast?
Music. I love me some music. Let my wife tell you, the Lord knew what he was doing by not allowing me to be able to sing. Because if I could sing, oh my God. Cajun or Creole?
To be honest with you, they're both basically the same. It's different people, like groups of people that's cooking, so the name goes behind it. So I'll take any one of those.
You got to choose one.
Okay, well, I'll go Creole.
Creole?
Yeah.
Me too. Driver or putter?
Putter.
Really?
Yeah, because, I mean, there are days when my driver doesn't work, and I can just hit my hybrid or my iron off the tee, but my flat stick works all the time.
But that feeling you get when you put a 270
But you
straight.
hit a 270 and then end up with a double bogey.
That is true. A passing TD or a return TD?
Return.
Why?
The return TD to me, it's so much going into it. That's why when I practiced, I ran full speed to make sure they knew where I was going to be. And I had a lot of teammates that were mad at me because in practice, if they say the hole is supposed to be there, you were standing there.
Get out the way.
I ran right over you.
I love that.
And in the game, I was still getting that butt up out the hole. So
you get about the hole.
The kickoff return, I love it.
There's nothing like a special teams touchdown.
It can change the whole momentum of
Oh,
the game.
for sure.
Yeah.
Jersey number 1 or 30?
Well, I love number 1 because I would tell people I'm number 1 in your heart and on the field. But then number 30 is like I got here and they gave it to number 30, and I was trying my damnedest to get number 1. And they were like, well, running backs can't wear number 1. I said, but I'm the emergency quarterback. They didn't buy it now. Everybody can wear whatever number they want to wear. But I would have to say number 30 because number 1 didn't pay for any bills.
Yeah, look. I don't blame you on that one.
None at all.
Beach or mountains?
Beach.
You a beach guy?
I go to the beach, but I don't get in the water. Because I don't like sharks.
I don't get in the water. I don't like the sun. Don't like the sand.
The mountains got snakes, so I rather the shark than the snake. You know why? Because I'm not going in the water.
This Saturday marks the return of the Players Club, where fans get a seat at the table with some of the franchise's most beloved alumni and current players. This week, Curtis Samuel joins London Fletcher and Santana Moss to talk about everything from growing up in Brooklyn to financial advice. Watch Command Center, the Players Club, Saturday, 7:30 on NBC4, as well as Washington Commanders YouTube channel and commanders.com. Coming up, what will it take for Washington to leave FedEx Field on Sunday with a 1-0 record? We share our keys to victory next. The Washington franchise will kick off the next chapter as the Commanders on Sunday in the regular season opener against the Jacksonville Jaguars. Washington leads the all-time series 6-1, winning all 3 matchups in D.C. in the last 4 meetings overall. Following the 2021 season that saw Jacksonville finish with the league's worst record, they made a change to their coaching staff, bringing in former Eagles head coach Doug Peterson. The same coach who was in Philadelphia when they drafted Carson Wentz back in 2016 and led the franchise to its first Super Bowl victory.
Well, first of all, I know they're very well coached. You know, and I've had the opportunity to be around Doug, and I know who Doug is. Doug's got a tremendous resume as well, not just as a coach, but as a player. And he's had a great deal of success, so they're going to be coached differently. Their outlook and their approach will be differently.
The connections to D.C. don't stop there. During free agency, Pro Bowl guard Brandon Sheriff inked a 3-year deal with the Jags, but it didn't take the Commanders long to find his replacement, adding former Jaguar Andrew Norwell to Washington's offensive line room. With the first overall pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, Jacksonville selected Georgia outside linebacker Trayvon Walker to help bolster a defense that finished 28th in points allowed last season. In addition to Walker, the Jags added last year's leading tackler in the NFL, former Falcon linebacker Foye Oluokun, in free agency. On the offensive side of the ball, highly touted quarterback Trevor Lawrence is entering his 2nd season. During his rookie campaign, the former number 1 overall pick managed to complete just under 60% of his passes for over 3,600 yards, 12 touchdowns, and 17 interceptions. He finished with his best game of the season, throwing 2 touchdown passes with no interceptions and a season-ending victory over the Indianapolis Colts. Make sure to watch Command Center Game Day Live, the official pregame show of the Washington Commanders. We're live on the air starting at 11 a.m. and taking you up to the start of the season opener against the Jags. You can watch on our YouTube channel, Facebook, and Twitter. And after the game, do not miss Command Center Postgame Live for reaction analysis and interviews with head coach Ron Rivera and the players. You can also find that on YouTube. Take command of your game days. Time for our keys to winning, presented by the Maryland Lottery. Play fast, win fast with fast play games from the Maryland Lottery. So the Commanders lead the all-time series against the Jacksonville Jaguars 6-1, but this is the first time that they are meeting since 2018, and Washington won that game 16-13. So let's get the keys to winning. Logan, Santana, let's go.
All right, thanks, Julie. So, yeah, let's talk about one of the things that I think is maybe most important is just effective play calling from Scott Turner. I think he's got a lot of variables to kind of manage here. Carson Wentz holding the ball too long, handling the pressure package of Caldwell. All that stuff I think is in his control, and I want to see how he does it, because if he calls a great game, I think it's going to be an easy win.
I think that's very key, and one of the things that I said is start off on a good note. We have a slew of weapons. You know, we have an offense right now that we don't have to depend on one guy on the outside, one guy in the backfield. Use all those guys. Yeah. Don't rely on Carson's the entire game. We don't want to see him out there throwing more than 40 times. You want to make sure that you have, to me, a great run attack, pass attack, and be versatile with it. Mix it up a little bit. Show these guys something that they're not ready for.
Yeah, absolutely. And then switching sides of the ball, it's just great rush lane discipline. We've talked about how Trevor Lawrence can run, how that movement can affect you. We saw how it affected this team versus Patrick Mahomes. Can you be disciplined? Make him beat you from the pocket, take away his legs. He's got a great arm, but also those legs on third down can be really deadly. Let's take that off the table with discipline rush.
Being disciplined, making sure that on third down we stay home, stay in our lanes. But that dog got to go hunt.
You got to hunt. Got to hunt. Got to eat.
You got to hunt. You got to get after him, man. You know, one of the things of being disciplined and making sure that you contain this guy, but you got to bring him down.
Right.
And that's what we got to do on defense. We got to see these guys making some contact out there, going out there and getting the guy with the ball. And at the end of the day, no long drives. I think the long drives has been the Achilles heel for us, man. You see our defense time and time again allowing offenses to extend drives, and that's, to me, a recipe for disaster.
Absolutely. I love that, Santana. And again, the last thing for me in terms of defensive is stopping the run. And that sounds really simple, but they're going to be seeing some different run stuff that they haven't seen. A lot of RPO from Pat Peterson's system, right? They got a new run game coordinator, loves the gap scheme stuff, loves that Bill Callahan kind of run philosophy, going to present some challenging looks, right? So let's get him off the field and, again, force the ball into the young quarterback's hands, make him beat you with that arm. Again, very, very talented, but it's been inconsistent. So let's ride that inconsistency a little bit and see if we can get a W out of this game. Julie, what do you think?
Yeah, I like it, and hopefully the team is listening, paying attention, because, look, Jacksonville has only had 4 wins in 2 years. I think they've won on the road in almost like 20 games as well. So we need to send them back to Jacksonville, where my mom and dad are coming up for the game, home all upset, because as everybody says here, it's who pays the mortgage. Got to root for the Commanders. All right, thanks, guys, and thanks to everybody for joining us on Command Center.